Hi, I'm Beth with the University of Florida Escambia County Extension, and along the Gulf Coast, unfortunately, we deal with a lot of tree issues related to storm damage. Now, when this is in your own yard, you can kind of decide that you can take care of that tree yourself or hire someone to help do it. But what happens when you're sharing that tree with a neighbor or a tree falls from another yard into yours? Who's really responsible for that? So we're going to get some information from my colleague Carrie with a couple of situations about trees so that you know generally who's responsible when you're dealing with trees on the property line.
Good morning. My name is Carrie Stevenson. I'm a coastal sustainability agent with the University of Florida IFAS Extension here in Escambia County. And today we're talking about making decisions about trees when they're on property lines, when they're on overhanging different pieces of property. As storm season kicks up, June 1st is the beginning of hurricane season. Tropical storms and spring storms are rolling in, and it's important to know who's responsible. So the first situation is if you have a shared border, if you have a property line and you have a tree right on that property line. If that is a situation you're in and you want to remove the tree or change something about the tree, you need to have an agreed upon solution with your neighbor. It is a shared piece of property. You cannot go in and cut it down, or else you could be liable for damages. That affects their property value and yours, so you need to have an agreement with your neighbor about that tree. Now, the other situation that we hear a lot about is if a tree falls onto your property from somebody else's yard. So if the entire trunk is fully on their property and it falls onto your yard, if it was healthy before it fell, if there were no obvious damages or sickness or weak branches on it, and it fully lived in their yard but fell over in a storm, that is your responsibility if it falls in your yard. Now, if there were damages on the tree, if it was obviously leaning, if it was obviously sick or too old and damaged, cracked, that sort of thing, and it falls over during a storm and they already knew there were damages, then it's their responsibility to take care of that tree and any damages it caused. Now, the tricky thing is figuring out whether that tree was damaged or not before the storm. So it's important, if your neighbor has a tree that you're concerned about, that you have a discussion with them, that you talk to them about, your concerns. If they're amenable to it, hopefully you can have a neighborly solution to the issue, and they can have it pruned or removed. But if they won't, if it's obviously a damaged or unsafe tree and they won't remove it, send a certified letter with photos and document the problems and make sure that you have that recorded so that if it does fall later on, you have proof and evidence, because you may end up in court, unfortunately. Right. So if you have questions or need further information about this issue, please don't hesitate to contact us, the Escambia County Extension Office. Hopefully you won't have any damage this storm season, but if you do, we'll be happy to help. Get to know your neighbors, talk to them about the issues, and then you won't have any problems. Take care.